Good afternoon. It's been a while since I've made a video. Been busy. June was a very busy month for me. A lot of things going on. My wife had time off. We went on vacation. I did shoot a video while on vacation. I may or may not post it. I have not reviewed it yet. We're back home. It's 4th of July. Actually, the day after 4th of July. We're grilling again, which I enjoy to do anyway. So, I thought today I would... Keith off Malt Man Cave had done the cask finish, port cask finish for their malt. It's the only Arran I got, so I thought I might as well do mine as well. I haven't had it for a while, so this is going to be pretty off the cuff, if you will. I also got me a Hefeweizen beer ready to go when this is all done, because it's warm out today. It's not a cool day at all, by any means. So I'll try to put that so you guys can hopefully see that. Came with a little pamphlet in it. This is 50% alcohol by volume. It has no age statement on it. And it doesn't even, I don't think it really states which port wine cask they've used. It doesn't really say, because there are several choices in port. For the several different choices of port, so it doesn't really speak that I know on the bottle, which is what I'm going with, because I've not went to the website about which one, other than it says port wine cask sourced from an artisan producer of this iconic Portuguese fortified wine. And I like port. I think I like port a little better than sherry. I bought a Madeira the other day, got that downstairs, so I got to try that. Anyway, so no age statement. We'll see how she goes. I've had it before. Obviously, it's had a good fill line, so I haven't had a lot of it, but I've had enough, and it's been open at least a couple of months, I think. I've been starting to write dates, but not all bottles get the dates on them, and you can see it's starting to get a little wet on the side from the humidity. I hope that's not thunder. We're supposed to get a rainstorm in today, but no, I think that's just that guy started his truck up over there. So anyway, I haven't really been out and about, other than that's why I'm doing this in the backyard, and I'll probably do the next few from the backyard. The flies are back, storm coming in, me cooking, but I'll probably the next few will be from the backyard. I just haven't had time to get out and about. I shot one video on our trip, which if I post it'll be after this one, on our vacation. And I really only shot one video because I felt it took away from me and my wife's time together. So, and that's more important to me than this. This is fun. I enjoy doing this, but it's not quite the same. So, anyway. I see she let the puppy dogs out, so they're out and about. So if you hear the tinkling, that's their collars and their tags tinkling. You get the port right away. Get a nutty. It's got that dark fruits like a sherry does, but port and sherry both bring forth a nutty flavor. But on this one, I noticed it more than I did on the Spey Tinny. It's that walnut. It's a very distinct note I pick up either on ports or on sherries. If I do get the nuttiness, most of the time it's walnut. And it is in this one. This comes across. You got your dark fruits. Plums, dried plums, dried plums, a dried tart cherry. It's not a bright cherry. Raisins, of course. Lots of raisins in this one. That raisin and dried plum note is really prominent here for me. We are bringing spiciness up, but it's not cinnamon to me, more nutmeg, but more the baking spices as a whole than just focusing on either a nutmeg or cinnamon aspect. Sometimes you get with bourbons, especially the cinnamon and nutmegs. This is more of the baking spices as a whole that you would use, especially in Christmas time, holiday baking spices. Almost like a pumpkin spice. The coriander's one of them that's coming to mind right now. I'm really kind of got a good nose. The nose is really good on this one. I enjoy this. It's not chill filtered. I just seen that on the back of the bottle. I better state that right now. 50%, no artificial coloring, no chill filtering. Pure by nature, as Arran's do. As it should be. I say that, but I like a Macallan, and I know they chill filter it, but that's a different story. Okay, let's get into the palate. I've enjoyed enough of the nose. Again, the dried fruits. I don't know if it's the 50%, but she's coming across with a very buttery mouthfeel. I didn't address the viscosity. She is pretty viscous. She's got good, thick legs. They run kind of fast, but they're very thick. Very thick. Beads up very well. And you got just ever so slight a red tint to it, and that's from the port. It's a straw, but with a little red tint to it. And that red tint makes it look darker than it probably really is. There is a little bit of youth here, not much, but a little bit. But the youth is balanced with, there's some older whiskeys and there's some younger whiskeys in this. And you can really sense the difference between the two. I could the first time I tried it. It's almost as if they're not quite totally integrated. But they do balance well. It hits you with so many dark fruits up front that it really overwhelms the palate almost initially. There is a sweetness here. It's a syrupy sweetness that's coming across. Very viscous and syrupy. Almost like a, I can't really put my finger on it. I don't want to say it's just a sugar syrup, yeah, simple syrup. It's not really simple syrup per se, but there is it's probably more along the lines of simple syrup in actuality. I mean, that's really honestly where it's at, I think. Go fly. There is a tartness to it. And that tartness comes from the dark fruits. There's a few light fruits in there. Just maybe ever so much of a peach. Nectarine. And that's bringing a more of the lightness to it. Oh, you can see the way the very viscous. You would think it would have a longer finish than it does, but this is a short to medium finish. It's not dwelling an overly long time on your mouth. It finishes very well though. No odd flavors, no bitterness, no tannic overnotes, nothing that sometimes you get in a finish that really is kind of ruins the whiskey for you. None of that. We're staying, if anything, it's adding that nuttiness that you get on the nose is actually coming through on the back side of the finish. So it's kind of just, this whiskey flows in the palate. Even though you've got you can sense in the palate the old casks and the new casks. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. It's 90 some degrees out here. Even though you can sense the presence of the old casks and the new casks, and the balance they give you is great. I forget where I was going with this because of the sweat. But the balance they give you between the two works really well. It's a detractor though in some sense of the word. I would prefer not to really be able to taste as definitively as I do in this one. But you take that away from start to finish, even though the finish is short. I mean, I got no finish right now. It's done. Been done. Even though the finish is short and not very strong or bold or lasting in nature, it's a good whiskey. It's really, I think, in the case of summertime, this is one of the scotches that you could have in the summertime with the port finish and all. That's not going to weigh down your palate as a sherry would, as a very strong sherry cask would. I'm not noticing an overly big malty note in this one like you get with Highlands. It's more fruit forward for me. Overall, I like it. I think it's a good scotch. I don't think there's a whole lot wrong with it. I think it's a simple scotch. I think it's very, very straightforward, and you're not going to get a lot of it's not going to break the budget. It was between 50 and 60 bucks is what I paid for this. It's not going to break the budget, and it's going to provide you with plenty of flavor. It's a fruit forward scotch. Gosh, I'm talking circles here. I ain't did a review in a while. It's really noticeable. But it's a very straightforward, very simple. Not simple so much as there's no complexity there. It's simple in the lack of finish. It's just palate to finish is short, sweet, but it's good. So if I had a longer finish, I'd give it a higher score, but if I had a real long, heavy finish, I'd also move it to a fall, wintertime scotch. It's light enough and short enough to be a summertime scotch, actually. So, what am I going to give this a score? I haven't really thought about it yet. So I got to give it a score. You know, I'm going to give it an 86 out of 100. Because it's good enough to drink as a daily drinker. This is one when you find on sale, it's a purchase. Just because it's good to have in there. You know what you're going to get, and it's going to be enjoyable most times of the year. So, well, you guys are going to tear me up on this. Anyway, I hope you heard me because my hand keeps hitting the mic over here, so I hope that didn't make a lot of noise. Anyway, I want to get off here because I got to turn them steaks. So remember, spirit in your glass ain't running from you. Take your time, sip it, enjoy it. You'll be better for it, as will we all. Everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Cheers.